Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy and the official dropout. So, if you don't know, Vivek Ramaswamy has officially dropped out. And one, I just wanted to say my condolences to you, because I certainly need condolences, and I am very sad about this. Before we go a step further, let's say thank you to Vivek Ramaswamy for everything he achieved, and he achieved a lot, right? So what was his campaign? It was a magnificent failure. And in case you don't know, failure is one of the most incredibly valuable things in the world. And it produces a lot of benefits. I don't think people know this. I've failed a lot in my life, and I continue to fail. But failure don't matter if you get back up. If you're back on the horse, within the 24 hours, you are unbeatable in this world. Actually, hold on. I just watched the Von Erich movie, saying you are unbeatable. You are unbeatable by anything but God. God can put you down anytime He wants in every possible way. He could put you down culturally. He could put you down pine box. So when I say you are unstoppable, I mean until God decides to stop you. So I'm a Christian husband and a father, and so I know the hierarchy of this world. God rules. Period. Right. But Vivek Ramaswamy had this magnificent failure. He failed to become the U.S. 2024 president, right? And he's not going to be president because CNN and the RNC decided no more person of color candidate for you, America. You're not allowed that on the Republican side. To kindness and tolerance and actually believing that people of all color are equal, only the macro Democrat believes that. What do I mean by macro Democrat? The macro Democrat is the 51%. If you take all Democrats and you boil them down to the 51%, the Democrats have proved it. We're Republicans, right? We're Republicans. Talk doesn't matter. Merit, right? What you've done matters. And here's the issue, right? The Democrats did what we never did. They elected a person of color president twice, right? And there isn't a question of who cares for people of color in America. It's proven, right? The Democrats gave people of color actual power. When the Republicans had a chance with a brilliant, perfect candidate, right, to accomplish that goal, Vivek Ramaswamy, they're like, nah, we're fine. We're fine with prejudice. The macro Republican is a hyper prejudice hate monger. That's what we learned from all this. Right, and it's this was the put up or shut up, right? The Democrats have already done it. They're like, hey, we don't need to prove to you that we actually believe in kindness and tolerance. We did it. We made a person of color the president. Republicans are like, nope, white people forever, and that's exactly what they're doing, right? Look, there's DeSantis, there's Haley, done and done. Here's your June Cleaver, here's your Ward Cleaver, right? Ward people to the nth. Right? And it is abominable. It is just abominable. Thank you to Vivek Ramaswamy for having the courage to remind all of us that there are still, what did he accomplish? Thank you, Vivek Ramaswamy, for reminding each and every one of us there are still great Americans. And that's what Vivek Ramaswamy accomplished. He accomplished many things. I'm going to list them. One, he proved to everybody there are still great Americans, right? You look at Donald Trump. President Donald Trump is literally openly quoting the mustache man from World War II. It's just absolutely abominable. Could you imagine any mother of an American child saying that's your president? That disgusting hate monger? That is horrible. That is abominably horrible. And if you got any any idea of voting for that tool, right? Know in your heart you are an evil hate monger. Evil to the core. You vote for Donald Trump, do not pretend that you are anything but an evil minion, an imp straight from the seventh circle. Okay? Do not think that you are voting for Trump and that you hold your good card any longer. You are aligned evil, chaotic, lawful, neutral. You could choose your alignment, but you are evil to the core. And that man is 100% evil to the core. Right? And we don't need to debate this anymore, whether he's a good man or not. He's openly quoting the mustache man from World War II. right? Like every week in his campaign, just to signal it's like, oh, hey, are you guys a hyper prejudiced hate monger? I got you covered. Vote for me. It's like, okay, let me stay focused here. All right, Vivek Ramaswamy, still great Americans, still people who are kind and tolerant and sacrificial. Sacrificial? Did you just say Vivek Ramaswamy is sacrificial? Yes, I did. He spent $17 million of his own money. That fool, Cenk Uygur, actually laughed at him. He's like, us in the business, we laugh at dorks like that spend their own money. We go out and get other people's money. And Cenk Uygur ran. And on his own show, he laughed at people who gave him the money. He's like, oh, only a sucker would ever pay their own money. What a ridiculous fool. Why didn't he just go dupe people like me to give him money and then spend all their money? And I'm like, how could you possibly say that? Is disgusting. That is disgusting. Cenk Uygur saying, why wasn't he selfish like me and have enough intelligence to only spend other people's money? Because Vivek Ramaswamy was in it for realsies, man, and wasn't a supervillain, right? And that's literally the bar now. Are you not a supervillain? That's our bar for American president. Are you not a literal supervillain? Like people be like, well, Joker made all that gas and did a whole bunch of horrible things, but he's not Trump. Joker never openly quoted the Mustache Man from World War II to Batman. Come on, not even DC supervillains do that, right? That astounds me. I cannot believe that he it is astounding, and America is embracing it because not America, Republicans, the macro Republican, the 51% Republican, is a hyper prejudiced hate monger. We know that now. That's why CNN could sweep away the last POC on the board, right, for the Republicans, and go, here's your Ward Cleaver, here's your June Cleaver. Take your pick of these Ward people. Take your pick. But that's all you get. You don't get a person of color. That's not allowed. Right? It's abominable. It is absolutely abominable. Woo! Man, yeah. So here we are, okay? The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to collect my I told you check, okay? I done told you I knew it on it's January 16th. And Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out on January 15th, right? I knew on January 3rd he was done, and I told you. And people rolled up on my channel, was like, Scott, he's still running in Iowa. It's not finished. It was finished. This America, okay? You know what matters in America? The video camera. And if you can't keep the camera on you, and that's what he couldn't do. When he got swept aside on the debate, I knew it was finished. If you can't keep if the camera don't look at you no more in America, you finished. You finished. I told you then on the January 3rd, I said. I was right. I knew this 2 weeks before it happened. Right? It's a pattern. It's not logic and it's not math. It's pattern recognition, and that is the only knowing left in 2024. Thanks for your patience. I know I'm a little spun up. I am upset, right? So thank you for your patience with me. I am deeply wounded by this loss. And it's going to be a day of lament. Let's get the sackcloth out. Let's get the ash out. It's a day of lament, right? And the lament is that a great man cannot move forward in America, but a hyper-prejudiced hate monger like Donald Trump, running on rails, man, greased rails. It is heartbreaking. Every single word you heard is nothing more than my humble opinion. Nothing less either. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.